Well, that was not even a challenge, it seemed. LFY basically cruising through that game against LGD. That was game 1 of a best of 3, so LGD still has a chance to come back. We're in the Chinese qualifiers for the ROG DreamLeague Season 8.
China!
Yes. And with me, we have Blitz and Slacks. Welcome back.
Hello again!
That was a very one-sided game.
Was it though, Sheaver?
Yeah, it was incredibly one-sided.
Yeah.
Was it though?
It was.
In my opinion, it just needed one little mistake for the comeback. They had the heroes that could rebound back, a little bit of XP, a little bit of items. The drafts were strong.
Nah.
Nah?
You know how I know the game was one-sided? You look up, it's 12-6, and LFI is losing 12-6. They're getting their kill score doubled, but they're up 7k gold.
Sure.
The thing, and on top of that, I mean, it's 12-6 here. At some point in the game, it was 3-11.
Yeah.
The end score was 20-14. It's like, at some point, it's just they can't
so they
find
got
anybody.
3
They can't
kills
kill.
to 17
Yeah,
at the end.
they can't kill anybody anymore. Everybody is too tanky. We saw an
chronoing
Echo
for
Slam being
Nightstalker.
used on an Elder Titan, and he just walked away. An Earthshaker and a puck trying to kill Elder Titan didn't happen. Took too long. They had to flee. We also have a Roche fight for you guys in the highlight. This Roche fight, spoiler alert, went the way of LFY. They do end up losing one hero, though.
Hey, that's exciting for them.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Pretty good.
So talk us through this, Jake.
Yeah, sure. Here you go. A nice chrono here. 3 in the chrono. And then, question mark.
So, yeah, so
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Nobody took enough damage. Like, look at this.
I mean,
they're just melting. Sure,
nice.
Nightstalker's gone, but you know.
Sure, Nightstalker gets taken out, but 0 damage caused in the. Oh my god.
They get the Aegis instantly, gets forced to use, and he ends up dead, I think, as well after that.
Yeah.
So it's like.
ET Veno is insane.
Yeah. It really is.
Everyone just died.
Everybody
they threw, like,
just
2
died.
ice vortexes in there, and everyone got like 2-shot. It was sick. I mean, I don't know what. There's not much to say. Like lineup-wise, it looked kind of okay, but Luna was never really able to get online, and the support duo from LFI was able to just accomplish so much more. In the early game, LGD's lineup, they were able to kill, just because they can go around the map. They've got good combo set up, but at some point, like you said, they just didn't really put out enough damage. Veno plus Sven, these are hard to kill heroes. Even the supports, ET, Nightstalker, like these heroes don't go down easily whatsoever. They all have like 1200 HP plus. They couldn't output enough damage. At some point, the scalability of LGD's heroes just kind of flatlined, and LFI just continued to move up and up.
But this is a hero problem then, surely, because I do believe like Luna was able to get some farm on the top lane. She had free farm for a while.
She is, but at the same time, like the problem that I've seen so far with all the Void lineups that go unsuccessfully is when there's not a whole lot more that you can drop in there. Like you chrono, and you don't get to utilize the chrono. It's not like chrono leads into an echo or anything like that, right?
You need the invoker.
Exactly. You need some kind of hero that immediately just like deals damage in that section. Like in the past, we saw the Void plus the OD. That was a combo that I really liked, just because you have somebody that can actually follow up with the Void. But it's like Luna is not the longest range hero in the game. Like she is almost a melee in that regard, and so for her to put out damage, it's not as easy. There's so many things that they had to contend with.
Was a rough game, Jake.
Sure, but if they got BKBs, you know, a couple Satanics, couple Silver Age.
Oh yeah, they just get that gold.
Farming.
If they just
the money
get
is just there.
It could have been close, you know,
but it wasn't.
I don't think we're going to see that big of a stomp in Game 2. I think this is going to go to a best-of-3 series.
Okay.
I think they're going to come back.
These two
Without
teams,
seeing the lineup at all.
yeah, these two teams played yesterday as well, by the way. It was 2-0 for LFY. Just want to point that out.
You know, a man got to go with his gut.
All right.
That's how it happens.
I mean, yeah, we can wait for the draft. You can make another call after the draft if you want.
I'm good.
Slex, if you're wrong, how about you take a bite of that really spicy thing that me and Yanni's had?
Oh, I don't do spicy things. No, I don't do that too. I'm on the caveman diet. I only eat very simple things. You know?
I'll unsauce it for you. It'll just be the chicken.
Unsauce it? How exactly do you unsauce
I'll just like, we'll get rid of most of the
Just
sauce.
lick it off
Yeah.
for me?
I'll lick it off for you, please.
You're a little sick creature, you know that? Disgusting.
And why is that? Because he was wrong, or he might be wrong. You're thinking the second game is gonna be as one-sided as this first.
I have no idea. I haven't seen the draft yet, but Jake seems confident. And
I'm super.
By the end of this, I just kind of want to bait him into doing something stupid.
You can't just tell me that's the plan, then I'll never do it, man. I'm not that dumb. Come on.
Well, that's the plan. That you could have guessed that from the beginning when I kept trying to get you to take bets that you could shave your head off.
Well, yeah, but I thought those were, you know, two chums just having a guffaw.
Yeah, but you're not getting baited. You're not accepting any of them.
We'll see.
That was like weirdly placed.
Yeah.
They like it.
All right, so game 2, I mean, we can attribute it a little bit to drafting error, a bit of a mismatch in terms of heroes. Was it that, like, do you feel like LGD had, like, from what you saw, could fix their issues? Their play was crisp enough?
Any game that you see like that, oftentimes it's going to be a drafting error. Like when you're getting kills, but you can't really do much else in that, it's usually going to be a drafting error.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, our chat thinks that it's 59% in favor of LFY. I think this is actually the first time where I'm like, yeah.
I mean, this one's close. It was the newbie Vici one that was crazy, because Vici very easily could have 2-1 that.
Yeah, they could have. And that was like, what, 73% for a newbie was that one?
Yeah, this game was super one-sided.
But but this is a little bit more even than this is good. I'm okay with this.
What?
I'm okay with this. Like this.
You were okay? Were you okay with the Vici one?
No, I wasn't. I was okay with this one. I don't know.
Help us.
It just kept being on there, so I felt like I had to do something with it. So game 2.
Game 2, we're going to see a whole different LFY. All right?
Okay.
We're going to see a whole different one. They're so confident. They think they know everything. They think they got strong drafts. This is the time of the comeback, baby. This is the time of the underdog.
What? LFI won.
Yeah, I know. This is the time of the underdog. LGD is not going to beat the big boys because they're overconfident, okay? You win a game that hard, you don't care about game 2. You're just
so
like,
you're
these
more
guys
about, like,
suck.
The mentality aspect of Dota.
Right.
How teams are feeling and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's what matters.
You're drawing from your rich, deep experience as a competitive Dota player / coach.
Yes.
You did get second at a TI as a 6th man.
How far did you get in TI,
That's
bro?
true. You were in that booth with them.
That is correct.
You're feeling it.
When they were drafting, they were texting me on their phones.
I don't think you're allowed to take your phones inside. So
Don't
you're
tell
staying there.
Bobo. Don't tell Bobo about what happened at TI, but carrier pigeons. That's how we. That's how we do.
So just like a pigeon would fly by with like a message scrawled on it.
It would. It would.
How did it get inside the booth?
It through the air ducts.
The air ducts.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they just get shredded up?
Well, I said pigeons.
What does that mean?
Well, that doesn't mean that they can live through getting shredded
They
up.
don't. We said a pigeon every time. The pigeons could squeal. They gotta die.
Yeah, they're gonna die on the way.
Suffice it to say, nobody cheated at TI. But
all right.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No.
You want to finish your sentence?
No, I'm done.
All right. So I want to know, like, who do you need to step up from LGD?
Oh, well, pretty much the whole team after that game. Pretty much.
You need to
name one
name
individual player.
I mean, golly, I don't know. Dota 2 is a team game. It's never one guy's fault that they lost. Okay?
No, that's not what that. But that's not what that
but we're
means.
asking for one guy in rich detail what he could have done better.
I mean, it's just an irrelevant question. I don't want to offend you guys, but there's not one person that's ever wrong in the team.
Let me break that. We have these player plates. I need to get one person from you, so we can
go
ahead.
Go
we
ahead.
Need one person. Who do you need to step up, Jake?
Why do you have to ask me? I mean, I personally feel.
Is it Yao?
Yeah.
No, it's not Yao. Yao was perfect.
Yao was perfect.
Don't show him on the screen, for goodness sakes.
Okay, they showed.
No, not Yao. Anyone but him. You know.
He played Shadow Demon. I mean.
All right. If I have to ask, if you really want an answer, I'm gonna have to say FY.
Yeah. What's wrong with FY?
Because he's a team captain, bro. He's the big brains. He's gotta motivate the team. You losing that bad, you gotta.
Look, do you see that? That's a blue.
He all thinks he's the captain, bro.
Yeah,
but I mean, come on.
The draft is on.
To the war room, please.
To the war room. Owen, where are you? Owen's over here too. No, don't take my phone. No. You just pulled my mic out. And like everything
I just pulled a
out.
muscle.
Has any heroes been picked?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be an ancient apparition. That
All right.
ghost.
And we have a Lich and a Veto.
Batrider banned again. Like I said, Yao plays it a lot and wins a lot with it.
Oh, where the DP at? Not banned yet, boys.
Not banned yet.
This is
Okay.
the one.
Oh, you got that side actually. Now you can do all the work. Grab some heroes, Owen.
No, I'm doing it.
Are your legs sore or something?
No.
Did you go to the gym?
Where's the air?
You gotta get the band heroes too, man. Come on.
We're on it, we're on it.
Now you get to do all that I've been doing, grabbing every
Wait, the
single
Venom's on
goddamn hero.
your side. You got grab the Venom. Grab the Venom.
You guys all right over there in the war room, please?
Where's the Lich?
Lost their goddamn mind.
Get better teamwork.
Yeah, come
I
on.
was doing everything on that side before, dude.
No, I was having. They just
Owen just stands here and looks pretty.
Hey, Earthshaker. Could it be an Oracle?
Oh shit.
All right, now we got something to talk about.
That was one of the ways to kind of play against AA. You use the Oracle ulti, and then right when the AA ult wears off is when you want the AA heal to kick in, so you get the full healing aspect instead of the AA ult affecting the AA.
So don't do it in the middle.
Don't do it in the middle. You do it toward the end of the AA blast.
I see.
This is very confusing what you just said, not gonna lie.
No. So AA blasts you, and then
You'll
if
get it,
you wait till about
Yes.
halfway through, and then you do the Oracle ult, they can't die to AA blast, and then they'll survive, and then the heals will kick in.
Well, because you can't
afterwards.
get the heals, but the heal doesn't happen in the middle of the Oracle ult either.
Right.
The heal happens right at the end. So the AA blast wears off, and then you get hit by the big healing from the Oracle.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect timing. We're gonna see it hundreds of times this game.
Actually,
also got
that's a DDC hero then, yes?
Oracle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he like if anybody can pull off timings like that, it's DDC.
DDC was the
Right,
best
okay.
5 at TI.
Nice.
Don't at me.
best dazzle.
Don't at. Yeah, he was really the best Dazzle.
played it
Yeah.
We
like
casted like
We
8 of those
casted
games.
so many of their games.
he's played it like every TI too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
DDC's like
He's a
that
beast.
sneaky guy. You don't really rate him. You think he's just like some guy that shows up, but he always plays such a consistent level.
There you
of
go.
Yeah!
There you go.
The ghost lady!
Yep.
Bring her out here!
And they've got the AA on their team, so it's not like the AA is against them, which is one of the counters. Well, one of the counters for Death Prophet to
Could
get
this
the Spirit
be
Siphon.
the salad finger strat? Like, they got pretty long fingers over there.
All right. What is the
Why
salad
would
finger?
you salad fingers?
Salad thing.
The,
I mean,
oh,
they
you mean the
can-
scooper thing?
They can
For
hustle
salad?
the salad.
No, have you
I don't-
not seen salad fingers? It's like, you know what?
can't handle this.
But you can do the
Only
voice.
90s kids.
Slax, can you not do the salad fingers voice?
Delicious rust on my finger.
No, salad.
Anyone else know what the hell they're talking
I
about?
only
see
know
salad
Edward.
Newgrounds circa
Everyone-
1997, people. Come
Everyone
on.
knows what salad
Come
fingers
on,
is.
boys.
I do not know what salad fingers are. I
There's
only know
Spirit
Edward Scissorhands or something.
Slacks, did you ever see the Jerry Jackson cartoons?
Hell yeah, boy.
Yeah.
You guys are weird.
Okay.
Where's
You ever
Spirit Fan?
place? You ever watch those stick figure
Me and-
movies
me
with the
and you,
stick
we know,
figures
we know.
fight?
Oh, of
Wait, no.
course. I watch those. Those I know. Zhao Zhao?
Zhao Zhao, bro.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I was
shit.
on Newgrounds too, don't worry.
Oh,
But you didn't know salad. Oh.
No.
You missed
I
out.
I
What-
probably
what are you guys
did know
talking
it.
about?
It's
They're talking about
sorry,
salad
bro.
fingers.
You're too young.
It's, yeah.
I'm
Only,
27.
only 90s kids would get
I was
this.
born in 1990.
It's a house like.
All right.
90s
Oh.
kids.
I'm well, we're 89, or Slacks is 88.
I don't know anymore.
When are you actually?
Hmm?
Are you 88 or 89?
Never ask a lady how old she is.
What's wrong with you? The voice doesn't make you a lady.
Hey!
Don't do
Hey!
it to yourself.
All right, anyway, Death Prophet. Can we talk about why this hero's so strong? Is it just because she's
With
kind
the
of
hands.
constantly moving around, constantly fighting,
Sniper
good
bang.
tower pusher?
Sniper.
She's kind of pretty good in this meta, right? Pushes uphill well. What's up, Blitz?
Yeah, she's incredibly strong right now in terms of she can't really lose a lane. The 2v1 matchup is okay for her. She's one of the few heroes that doesn't really care because Spirit Siphon is so good. Her high ground ability is very strong. She can Roshan. Her team fight's very good. She doesn't get kited very easily because of that Spirit Siphon and the fact that you're going to go for that move speed talent as well later on in the game.
Yep.
Her ability to scale is very good. There's not any part that she's going to particularly excel at, but
That's
she's
like the
just a
rough
really solid all-around hero.
Lots of stuff down
There is a downside here, though, is that
Yes.
when you do pop your ulti, you want to make sure that you're fighting outside your base and not taking fights near your towers and stuff like that, because for this hero to push and transition into pushes, you know, you need to be aggressive with this hero. It sucks to be defensive with it because you blow your 2-minute cooldown ulti, a bunch of ghosts fly in the air, and maybe you win a team fight, but you can't really do more with it.
Cool. That makes a lot
Wax,
of
could you give us the noise that DP does when she ults?
I think the children didn't like that. There's children in the chat.
We're not children in the chats.
Yeah, dude.
Average age of Twitch chat's like late 40s, isn't it?
I thought it was
13 in May.
Late 40s.
Late 40s.
13 in May.
40-year-olds in the Twitch chat represent.
They are spending a lot of their time right now.
You got them, Jake.
LFY.
You're representing.
What?
What?
Only
What?
90s kids would understand that reference.
So the other thing we didn't say, we just talked about how Oracle's good versus the AA Blast. Oracle's also just good versus A in general because you negate magic damage with your Fate's Edict. Can work decently versus a Death Prophet as well. Versus that Spirit Siphon. But not versus the ultimate at all. Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight.
There's Super's hero.
There you go. The classic.
So you got the Oracle already against AA, and that's great and all, but do you want to pair it up with something else that makes it better? Because surely you're not just counterpicking an AA with an Oracle. Surely that's not the only play there.
It's a lot. It's because also AA buffs magic damage with Ice Vortex too, so the Fate's Edict is like better on versus other heroes that you're gonna pick. Because you want to pick around the AA a bit. It's like China really likes doing that versus the AA, in particular LFY actually.
Okay.
Pretty good with Dragon Knight too, right? I mean, Dragon Knight's so hard to kill anyway. And
You've
then
got
Oracle
Dragon's
just
Blood.
keeps them up, keeps them rolling. So pretty strong combo there by itself.
Okay.
I'm super pumped, man.
Oh yeah.
When's the last time you see Dragon Knights and DPs? I love China.
They could definitely still have a combination in like the idea with the Oracle though, like a carrier, something that works really well with it still. So there is that though.
20 seconds. Wow, they really don't have a lot of time. They've got a lot of
both-
stuff left to do.
Yeah.
They both ran a lot of their time down.
Hey, Frosty Heroes.
That's another big fingered hero. Wow.
This one's on this one.
Right.
Well, he's got a different type, so.
Yeah, I got one. There you go. Got one hero.
The weird hand alliance.
Weird the lion.
Span it again. What's he doing there?
Should be down there.
Pretty good. There's a lot of beef on this team, guys.
Been picking a lot of that. They've been picking a lot of the Tusk.
Some primo beef.
Yeah, dude. We got some real macho bros coming out here.
Having Tusk with Death Prophet also helps you close the gap with Spirit Siphon, but gives you that save factor for the DP. So if you're getting bursted, you just get thrown into a snowball. It's a really good combo with Death Prophet. These teams have been doing it.
18 seconds on reserve time. Wow. These
So
guys gotta do
the
some quick things.
The Sven pick by LFY, they get the Warcry versus Death Prophet, can be really good. And it's also Burst Hero versus Death Prophet. It's just one of the better carry heroes that you can actually draft versus that DP. And the movement speed, of course, from Warcry helps you get away from the hero a
So
bit.
I see a lot of team fight on the side of LGD. And there's an Earthshaker. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But LFY is kind of lacking in that department. Is that a cause for worry, or are they okay?
That's me.
Yeah,
I
anybody.
feel like I'm talking a lot.
I think they're great.
Will, what do you think?
I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'm gonna.
I'll ask
What a-
Will. He has a question mark on his face. Why?
Sorry, I was thinking about the last picks. That's always like, you don't work with me enough to like, because Cap's the only person that notices. But like when I'm thoughtful, I just like kind of shut up and like stare.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to remember the hero list in my head to try to figure out who all the heroes are. Because it's not super intuitive for me. So that's when I go silent. I'm trying to figure out what the last 2 heroes of the game are.
What do you feel like they should be able to do? What do they need?
I'm looking at LFY or LGD's lineup, and they have okay wave clear, but they don't have. I mean, their lineup looks okay. Maybe they need a little bit more burst damage.
Okay.
And on the side of LFY, I mean, their lineup's pretty balanced. Their tower hitting is pretty short up with DK, which is why they like it for Super, just because it fulfills a lot of needs.
I'm trying to wonder what they pick. Did they just grab like a Zeus or something on LFY? These guys are crazy.
Well,
It's probably
LFY
on
need
Inflame's hero, right?
yeah, need an inflame hero.
She's played Zeus offlane in the past and stuff. You said Burst. That's what I was. I mean,
They ban out Puck.
the Puck's banned. That probably would have been a better pick actually. Puck would have been very good for that lockdown for Sven. Actually, yeah, that's probably what they want. Something to help Sven to focus fire target too.
Sorry, guys.
Well,
Oh,
last
yeah.
time we thought they were
10
going for Puck, they went for
seconds
an Other Titan.
That is true.
That is very true.
5 seconds remaining.
I get a little quiet. You might not have worked with me before, but typically when I don't say something, it's because I'm adding up like different resistances, armor levels, you know, stuff like that. A lot of mathematics going on in my head. So
In the back, I think.
there's a reason I haven't been talking too much during this draft, just because of my analytical
Prowess.
dissertations.
Sure.
Dissertations. What?
Hey!
No! Ho!
Bam!
God tier calls.
I mean, that's the
Hey!
flame hero, right? That guy
Where
loves
does
this
that
hero.
go? That
This is
goes-
the off lane. There you
All
go.
right, all right. Thank you,
Bam.
guys.
You're welcome.
What do you think, Will? What did these last picks tell you? Are you satisfied with
Yeah.
the result?
So you won't believe me, but I was thinking of the Bloodseeker. I didn't see the Zeus coming, I'll be honest. But I was thinking about the Bloodseeker for LGD, because you need a carry that can do something against the Dragon Knight and the Sven. And these heroes that like just get into these physical battles will always lose. And so you need something that has a little bit more more mobility. So going with my boys LFY though.
LFY, for you, what do you think?
People think that there's OP heroes. There's not OP heroes. There's OP spells. It's called Nimbus. Bring me that Zeus.
So the LFY as well, and LFY for me as well. So
Whoa.
let's see if LGD can prove us wrong, and
Zeus.
keep themselves alive in this. In
Go
this draft
LGD.
so far.
Zeus.
Over to Pixel and Fogged.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Yes, so we have LFY, LGD. Game 2. Can LGD step it up? LFY looking very hot in game 1. And with the ending to this draft, are you as confident as the panel are with LFY? Or do you sort of like the fact that LGD have got their hands on that notorious Chinese death prophet?
LGD doesn't have the I guess you could say the greatest like catch in a way. It's pretty much their Tusk early on and the Rupture later on, like for the Bloodseeker and stuff. But yeah, I'm really liking what LFY's got going on here. They've got a lot of catch, mixed damage, and it's a very them draft. This is exactly what they like to pick. They're hunting for this Obs ward right now. He's going the Lightning Bolt level 1 on Inflame. Unable to find that lane ward. He throws out 3 Lightning Bolts, still does not find it. Can he find it with the final one? They're pinging it. Bam, he's got it.
He's got it.
Yummy.
There we go. That's worth the mana. He can refuel. He's still got time. Taking down that vision, getting that god. It's a great start there to the bottom lane for Zeus.
Yep. He'll have what, the mango being brought out, yeah. On his way to the Soul Ring. Lovely.
Why see if we can get the bounty rune steal. It's coming in with Victoria as well.
Some harassment on Simone.
Trying to hold him back here. He's taken quite a bit of damage, but he's got the regen. He has got 3 tangos to the south. Look at that effect that the Tusk has got going on as well. That's one of the broken gems. Do you see that, Fogged?
Which one?
Look at this Tusk. Look at this aura that he has.
What? Why does he have it now?
Because there's a certain gem or something that you can infuse on an item and it glitches out. I don't know what it is.
It's the Orbital Decay. It's the same one that they have on the ward.
Yeah, you can use it. Yeah,
punching item.
that's what you can use it with certain items.
Are you
get
kidding?
this aura on
That's
heroes.
so sick, dude.
Dude, it looks better than the $2,000 thing. And I don't know how much the gem costs, but I mean maybe it's expensive.
It's probably
as well.
quite expensive.
It could be, but it looks pretty.
You might not even be able to get those anymore.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've not tried, but I've seen it before. It does look flashy. Alright, in this mid lane then. Somnus being helped out by Yao. Those two going up against Super. Super obviously on one of his most comfortable heroes, the Dragon Knight. I'm sure he's dealt with matchups like this before. So we'll see how he plays it out.
LGD's plan is pretty much put as much harassment as possible in the opposite 2 lanes. That's the dream for a Bloodseeker, so you get those thirst stacks. So he can actually just run at the Zeus. If he gets too many thirst stacks, and you know it's a Zeus, he can just run at him and right-click him all the way to the tower. Not really the fastest hero. So once you get some levels on that Bloodseeker.
Right. The harassment, the chilling touch. Bam, bam, bam. Super down. And low on the regen.
Did Slacks mention the Tusk Bloodseeker? I know he loves to talk about.
He mentioned it yesterday, not today though.
Not today, all right. Well,
But
you know,
we
there is
always
the
do
axe
hope for the
kick,
axe.
but eventually, it could happen versus like a Sven. Like Sven DK, if they're ruptured up. If you do get negatives, that'd be pretty sick.
Down bottom. I mean, Inflame is
He's
letting
dead.
himself get heavily beat down by the Bloodseeker.
Here's what we were saying: the thirst, the blood, the Orb of Venom is adding up. Is he gonna be able to? No, he's not. Wow, he actually ends up not getting the kill.
Not quite enough speed there.
Thought he'd actually be able to grab him there. with that Orb of Venom slowing. Oh, but he does. Oh, he didn't have boots. Oops. I thought he had boots already.
Yeah, that was just at one point, but yeah,
that was just the thirst movement speed making him go 360.
And 1-8, top lane. Not having too much trouble finding the farm, despite LGD having a very aggressive lane pitted against him. LFY, backed up by Yao.
Somnus is going to have a really excellent mid lane, though. Of course, the Death Prophet versus DK matchup, and he had help from an AA on top of that. So he's 16 and 10 versus the 9 and 0 Dragon Knight. Yeah. Zeus looks pretty cool with Nimbus and with the Sunken Relic, though. With both of them combined, it looks kind of crazy.
It's pretty crazy. Very flashy.
Yeah.
On Inflame.
He's got a DD rune, so he's trying to abuse that in the bottom lane as much as possible.
So we can do it up top. They go for the Fissure onto Victoria. LGD, they are ready to rumble if they see an opportunity to do so.
They actually moved the whole tri-lane, so we have tri-lane versus tri-lane.
Yep.
Bloodseeker benefits a lot from this. He's getting the right clicks now onto the Zeus. Instantly has to TP out.
Yeah, straight back to base as well. Make sure that he can get the regen off. This is more time, more space for...
Oh my god. Look at that. Most pro games on Dragon
No
Knight.
surprises there. Yeah, no surprises at all, really.
158. Holy crap.
154.
154. Yeah, I don't know why I said 158.
Maybe you can just read the future.
I don't know.
The end of this little bracket
Maybe.
will be 158.
Probably.
I'm sure we'll see more Super DK get through the drafts as LFY play through. It's GSL, the qualifiers of the ROG DreamLeague. Up top, LFY just interrupting this side pull.
Good old try versus try. I miss the days of tri lanes battling.
And it's allowing this to be also the classic 1v1 mid for the most part, as you said. There was a little help at the start, but now, for the most part, it's 1 versus 1 up top, going in onto Arfu. DDC, can he do enough to save him? He tried to hold the back with the urge, but he is dead.
LGD, who's already winning the lanes pretty nicely, winning 2 of them quite handedly, now gets a first blood as well. Bloodseeker, almost level, get on the way to level 6 versus a level 3 Zeus.
Super though, starting to pick up that CS in the mid lane, despite Somnus having that favourable matchup in the early levels. Because now he's got the few points in Dragon's Breath, Super can nuke the waves back out and still find that CS from a safe distance.
Yeah, once you've got like the 2-0-2 or 2-1-2 on the Dragon Knight, you can sustain and be able to spam up pretty nicely, and he's going to be bottle crowing for that refill all the time. Fu recognizes that top lane is, they can't really contest that type of tri-lane. It's way too strong with Tusk AA, and he's going to make them move bottom. They've got the Soul Ring finished, the Fissure comes out, but...
Very hard to get the kill. At the least they can bully him back.
They might actually be able to... No, they don't know where he is standing. Oh, he actually gets him instantly with the stop, too. That was the TP. He's
with
dead.
the TP gone, they're certainly getting that one, surely. He can make them work for it, but yeah, he's gone. That
prediction
that lightning bolt. Very, very nice there from Inflame on the Zeus. And that's painful. No TP's going to have to make the long walk back to lane as well.
Holy moly.
That's a big kill for LFY to get down on the bottom lane.
Yeah, and he actually hasn't picked up a stick on the Bloodseeker. He still has, I mean, the poor man's shield blocks some of the damage, but it's mostly magical that's coming out, so it's surprising to see him not even wanting to get a casual one just for the lane, even though he doesn't use the mana himself. Yeah. And if I remember correctly, Blood Rage also gives 6 charges too, so the Zeus doesn't have one, but Zeus doesn't really need one so much, rather we'll just get the Soul Ring into Arcanes as fast as possible.
Oh, look at this, Victoria actually has an Invis rune. Trying to see if we can set something up. Does need the Bloodseeker in the neighborhood, and them actually making the move away. Mid lane, Somnus committing with the Ghost, Super as well, popping the Elder Dragon form. We're seeing if they can respond to this. Somnus a little low here, gets caught up by the Fissure, but Super doesn't want to dance around too close to the Ghost. Very low on this Death Prophet. I mean, it's sort of coming to the end. He's playing very much on the edge. He's relying on the Spirit Siphon. Can they kill him in time? They can. Over-aggressive plays there from Somnus on the Death Prophet. Cost him his life.
Yao's dead as well.
It is going to cost Yao as well. I mean, he was really trying to push the limits of that ultimate. Sure, the Exorcism was about to come to the end, but he was tanking the tower. LFY, just a quick rotation, suddenly the Exorcism is gone. Sure, you do a little bit of damage to the tower, but that's the Death Prophet down. Big kill there for the mid lane.
Yeah, he wanted them to get a bit closer, then he would throw the Spirit Siphon, but getting clipped by the stun, getting burst down from the rotations coming in from the supports. Now top. Here we go. Zeus joining the fray, level 5 with that level 3 lightning bolt. But Monet getting heavy pressure, but Tidehunter taking that damage from the Zeus.
Look at these rotations from Inflame from bottom lane to top, kicking things off, looking for both of them. Just burst down one, and takes down another. These movements from the Zeus.
And he's got Arcane Boots, so he can give his whole entire team mana. He's like, guys, come here. Here you go.
Overall, though, despite the movements, still slightly better for the network on the 3 cores.
Yeah.
The difference sort of being towards the bottom of the chart where we are seeing these plays, set them apart, but very, very close still. Kills this time around going the way of LFY. We saw in game 1 LGD actually being the ones to get the favorable action in terms of blood spill in the early stages, but it didn't win them the game. So this game is going to be a similar situation, just turned on its head. Bottom lane, very scary to turn it into now. The Rupture's online, level 7 on this Bloodseeker. You want to be careful if you're coming down here. Up top, Inflame just taking down FY's infused raindrop charges.
Uh-oh,
be
he's
careful.
committed on now, though.
Victoria's going to roll in straight away. Nothing he could do to hold these guys back apart from just get as much damage out as possible. That is the Zeus down. LGD closing in on the top. They've brought in the Death Prophet as well. They should have no trouble taking this tier 1. See if LFY do want to have an attempt at trying to hold. At the moment, they've given the shake at the bottom lane. The rest of them around the mid. So they will just let LGD get away with this tier 1 for free.
LGD coming out pretty nicely out of these lanes. Gets the tier 1 mid, and Dragon Knight still hasn't even hit the opposing tier 1 full HP. Monet does have a triple stack of Ancients to farm up whenever he gets Mask of Madness, but it's a level 5 Sven at 9 minutes. That's how hard they've pressured him up there.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Definitely a bit concerning for LFY at the moment. How's Bloodseeker doing? Saving up gold, just treads. 1400. Top lane, again, they try to make the commitment onto Inflame. The Shaker Portson gets the Fissure. They've got another Lightning Bolt in a second. Is he gonna be in range of it? It actually gets tanked by the Tidehunter. And now, oh no, Somnus walks in.
Yeah, Super just eliminates him straight away. And they're not done with just the DP. They're gonna look to chase for more, looking for FY. And they get in range for the stun, or at least a Fissure. Oh, yes, they can. Beautiful Fissure across the cliff.
I think that was absolutely max range there.
Has to be. That was really nicely done from Arfu. Didn't waste time trying to go around. Knew that he could get straight for the line across the rocks, and bam, that was exactly what they needed to take him down before he got out of range of them all.
Yeah, Somnus with that rotation too. Somnus walks up to try to do something, just dies instantly.
Yeah.
That's the power of the Zeus. That's
can't walk in on the front lines.
You know, Will was saying that he wanted to see a burst hero on that last pick. That's why, you know, Zeus came to my mind because that's what LFY loves, this hero, and it's looking like it could work, but there's still a bit of a detriment. But you can see that hero is no joke with how much damage it does. Monet just using God Strength to farm. They're using Inflame to push out top. Not really wanting to show the supports too much on the map, running them between the lanes.
So the overall, the fact that this Bloodseeker is at the top of it, and Wafu getting rolled upon. It is by a shrine. Can they do anything to save him? They can't. Arfu's gone. Get the clean kill. I'd love to move him for more LGD. In fact, Super also in the neighborhood. They can't quite close the gap on him.
He's got a haster in his ball too.
And they can settle for the tier 1 though. So they bring the push in. Back down to the lane. Tier 1 to 4. 2.4k gold coming up on Bloodseeker now.
Bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's probably gonna just do the Radiance Rush this game. Somnus going for the Yules, as we do tend to see, of course, on the Death Prophet. Probably gonna get a Hood after that to deal with the Zeus burst damage, as well as the Earthshaker.
Dire are scanning.
And a pipe more than likely gonna be coming out on the Tidehunter. Just a standard pipe mech build on Tide, as usual.
Using the Thunder God's Wrath there just for the scouting potential. Make sure that LGD have backed off. Know where it's safe to go on the map.
Yeah, they're content with just doing the farming for now. Well, they kind of have to catch that Sven back up, and the way that the lanes were just not very beneficial for LFY. Smoke now for LGD. They've got Victoria and Somnus paired up for that Snowball Spirit Siphon combo we were talking about.
Kind of could catch out Monet. That would be the big target.
They should be able to grab him. Oh,
he should be
is
in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
He's got the war cries, trying to make his way back up to the shrine. Ice Blast is actually going to be off point. It doesn't matter though. The Siphon and the Ghost from the low ground, cutting into the Sven. Get him out of there. They've got the creeps pushing around up on top as well.
Too.
Ooh, can they take that with the Exorcism?
It's being pinged out. Look at
this.
Monet's like, I need this. Monet's pinging that. He's like, I need this stack.
Oh, that's painful for LFY.
Oh, God.
Losing the Ancients as well as the Sven to LGD.
Now here he starts pinging the other side. He's like, start stacking the other Ancients. That one's gone. Big movement from LGD there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They couldn't get over. They couldn't protect them. And with that, yeah, this Bloodseeker 5.8k. It's going to be a very, very scary timing on the Radiance. There's no doubt about that. He's nearly got the relic on top of the treads.
Monet's got at least Monet picked up the Mask of Madness before he died there, so he can at least accelerate his farm a bit. Very needed for that. Super as well, expending the Dragon form with the Arcane Rune just to farm. They're just, they need to farm in this game.
Dire's middle tower is under
to be able
attack.
to take fights against LGD's very strong lineup after the laning phase. And like you said, that Radiance, the Relic
Dire's
is almost picked up already.
Is under attack.
Super with that blink. Picked up at the same time as we had the Yules on the DP, so we can expect to see the Death Prophet sort of get away with those plays that we've seen earlier, where he heads in straight away on the front lines. Now at least he's got a bit of defensive potential, kiting potential to allow him to do that, get away with it, and buy time for the rest of his team to come in and protect him and keep him alive. Somnus. They are now done though for Inflame. Now stepping up the heavy amounts of magical that they can offer.
They're baiting this Zeus so hard right now. There's no Echo Slam just yet, but they have the Oracle ulti for after the committal. There's the Fate's Edict. Blocks the magic damage.
Does catch from to Arfu though, but indeed the Tusk gets eliminated straight away. Super's going to try and chase for more. Or at least he could do. He's being a little careful about it. Knows that FY does have the Ravage.
They wanted to get more out of that, I think. Super with the Blink Dagger, pops Dragon form, TP's top instantly, but that being said, they have 4 top and they're making the space at least for Monet to try to catch back up, which he desperately needs, that BKB blink. Smoke coming out from LFY.
See what they can go for here again. Obviously,
look at the line drawn by Inflame. They want to go for the big
the Dragon form's going to wear out, isn't it, by the time the fight kicks off? How long has he got it left?
The scan actually catches them too, because I think
this
may have been caught under a ward when they went for the smoke. I don't know if it actually ended up clipping them, but look at this wraparound by them. This is
he's got a little bit of time left on that ult on the DK, but he's only going to be able to get a couple of hits now, and if they do decide to take this fight, and it looks like they're wandering away, they're coming to the mid lane, they're saying, well, we can't take this, no Dragon form anymore, get the tower instead.
They wanted to catch some like people retreating and splitting up instead of, and then when they see all 5 top, they're like, okay, whatever. Let's try for the trade.
The question is if LGD themselves can get a good wraparound onto LFY. They're smoked up. They know exactly where LFY is in this middle lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They will prioritize taking that tier 2 tower though before moving. Death Prophet's still working on it.
Uh-oh, they're smoked up. Here comes the Tidehunter from the back.
He could get some sort of big setup. We're going to see what happens. Thunder Ghost Wrath used. They know some sort of information of where the side of LFY are. Now with the Rupture drop down, they're going in onto Super. They have Ruptured, but this DK doesn't care. He's too tanky. Will stand his ground. At the moment, AA the only one to go down. They have the control onto FY on the Tide, but not nearly enough damage. So.
Yep, that was like the Ravage, and that was the Ravage and Rupture used, and
nothing really died on the side of LFY.
No, they wanted to focus the Zeus, but the Oracle just throws Fate's Edict on him, and all the damage is pretty much negated, and he just stands still to not take damage from Rupture. Didn't even have to use False Promise.
Yeah, all in all, I mean, yeah, but as we sort of said, despite LGD having a pretty good wraparound, he just couldn't seem to harm LFY at all. No Exorcism, and of course not quite yet having the Radiance online for the Bloodseeker means the 2 sort of big things they need to have that damage weren't quite there. Bottom lane, they're hunting this Bloodseeker. Super into the tree lines, always goes straight for the TP out, they caught him.
It's a big kill.
Yeah.
At least he has the Relic already, right?
Unlikely escape for him, he does indeed, so could be worse, but still they're the kind of pickoffs that LFY are over the moon with, taking that Bloodseeker out of the game.
Yeah, and you can see the gold draft. They're already evened out the experience, and they're just about going to be evening out that gold too. And I think that Afu, okay, almost has Blink Dagger. He's doing the straight Tranquil Boot Blink on the Earthshaker. New build you can kind of do. We'll probably see him grab the 250 mana talent instead of the strength this game, so he can have enough mana to always sustain it. And you see his build. He went the 1-1-4 build to have that max Aftershock for when he has the blink set up.
Make sure he has that locked down.
Helps him farm, of course, as well. Monet continuing to stack his own Ancients and farm them, while the other two heroes kind of push out the side lanes of the map, the Super and Zeus. Dragon Knight and the Zeus just pretty good at pushing lanes out, of course. And yeah, Inflame is having a great time, of course, as expected as the Zeus, since he tends to do these kind of things on his big heroes. One of the items toward the Nimbus Cloud. Nimbus is absurd on that hero.
Yeah, especially as we said, what we're pretty much, well, all four of the other heroes having some sort of stun or hold anyway. It's going to be very likely that you're going to be caught under the cloud for multiple zaps.
Yep. It just gets to a point where you will have your level 20 talent, you get the extra mini bolt, stun, 0.5 seconds, and you can lock people down pretty efficiently with it. It's very obnoxious.
No, still yet to see either team go for Roche, but I guess neither team having an amazing lineup for it. I mean, well, arguably LFY is a little better with the DK and the Sven. I mean, LGD, they do have the Ghosts, but you're not always wanting to commit. I mean, they could commit it for Roche.
They've got Ghost and Blood Rage. It's pretty.
Oh, I guess they got
okay,
strong.
Yeah, and with the Gush, with the minus armor, it's pretty strong actually.
Oh, they're going to show me here. They're going to commit for it right now. Let's see with the Exorcism. All right, Exorcism, Blood Rage seems pretty good.
Yeah, quite a lot of damage.
LFY going to stop it though. They're in the neighborhood.
They do want to try. They do have the Blink Shaker. They're smoked up. Are they going to get there in time? It doesn't look. It looks like it's going to die before they go, but they get the AA in the back.
Oh, yeah, Super gets one. But the Aegis is already into the hands of the Death Prophet. Exorcism, how long have we got left on it? It's going to wear out pretty soon. So this fight is not necessarily one that LGD want to take straight away after grabbing that Aegis. They are beginning to back up. Victoria on the retreat. At the same time, Super will catch out FY with the stun, looking for the block off. Alfu indeed does find the Fisher. They close in with Monet having the God Strength straight in onto the tide. He's big, he's tanky, but he won't survive that.
Man, this team is so good. Honestly, LFY is maneuvering so well around the map, catching. Look, Sven's caught back up. DK now second on the board. They're making all the right moves, even though they don't take the fight in the pit. They're like, whatever. They killed. They got a lot out of that anyway. Killing two heroes.
Yeah, just, I mean, you know, seeing that they went for that Roche and using that Exorcism, that's one of the problems with that soul lineup, I guess, and using that for the Roche. As soon as you take the Roche, unlike pretty much any other time with any other lineup, you know, you take the Roche, you're ready to fight. You have the Aegis with the Death Prophet. You want to get the hell out of there. That Exorcism's gone. You have to escape. Sure, they do lose a couple of heroes because of it, but they do at least keep the Death Prophet alive. They're going to have that Aegis Exorcism ready for next time.
Looking at their lineup, though, it's like, you look at LGD and it's like, where's the damage come from? It's literally only the Death Prophet, really, in comparison. Sure, the Radiance Bloodseeker can start to do stuff, but he can't get into the fights versus the Zeus. He runs in, he's just going to get zapped. If he gets hit by one stun, he's going to get absolutely decimated by the spell damage coming out from LFY's lineup.
Yeah.
So I am seeing a bit of a concern for LGD till they get those BKBs online for both the Death Prophet and the Bloodseeker. And there's the one for the Death Prophet, at least.
And definitely all about those Exorcism usages, though. And here we have it. Straight up, how long until the Exorcism is back up?
Should be, but pretty soon. 3 seconds.
There we go, yeah, smoking just before.
I'm so jealous of this Victoria's item. I'm going to look up how to
We'll get that gem.
I'm going to look how to buy
Dude, do you think it's really expensive?
I'll try to get it.
Because I feel like more people would do it, you know what I mean? If it wasn't...
Or maybe you just can't get it anymore.
It could be. Maybe it was just a period of time where you had to like do the glitch or something.
Yeah. They're all positioned here in mid, DDC. Perfectly on the side, waiting for them to maybe go for Super. LFY gets the Gush. But everybody on LFY is in the area, and now it's a full BKB on the Dragon Knight with an Arcane Rune Blink Dagger.
There we go. He's gonna
There's
There's
no blink on the Sven though to jump in, but there's a blink on the Shaker. They're going in.
They're
He's got
going
the
in.
Echo Slam if he wants to use it.
They want to get rid of that Death Prophet. She does get picked up, but no, she's down. That's the Aegis pop, immediately getting cut down by Monet and Super.
And echoed.
Echo indeed for round 2. Cleans up the Death Prophet for a second time in the fight. And they chase for more the LFY Fisher from Arfu. Clips onto Victoria, but with lack of extra blink chase down, they won't quite get it. And again, I'll be honest, we're not seeing this Bloodseeker turn up to a single fight, have we?
I don't think he can, to be honest.
I guess he can't, yeah. But it's a bit weird that the team's trying to force with Exorcism was. I mean, sure, they're creating space for him to farm, but losing the Death Prophet like that, I mean, it just seems a little desperate from LGD and a much more kind of calm and chill from LFY with these holds.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to be creating space for a Bloodseeker? I mean, is a Bloodseeker ever going to be in a great place relative to a Dragon Knight and a Sven? It feels hard.
Yeah, it feels tough. I mean, we see here, you see Afu waits until, of course, the Aegis goes down, but BKB freshly picked up on the Dragon Knight, and the Ravage hits the Oracle and the Zeus, but they already closed the gap onto the Death Prophet, and like you said, Bloodseeker can't go into these fights. He just stands on the sides, and he's like, well, if I run in, I'll die as well. I'll just get bursted down by all this heavy magic damage. So they need that BKB if they want to try to take those fights. And now there's a Zeus hacking him on
23 minutes in, nice.
So farmed.
Yeah. You can see down the net worth, it's starting to get a little scary. It's not a massive lead for LFY, but it's just that overall shape that's never nice. The fact that LGD did maintain that sort of solid, steady advantage, and now it's curving off. And with trades like that, I can certainly still expect it to continue that way, especially with the blink now picked up from Monet. We saw how much he could do with the blink in the first game. Very good at finding the quick and easy pickoffs at the start of each team fight. He's very good with the blink dagger, Monet.
Yeah. This is problematic for LGD. Very problematic.
Like, what does the Bloodseeker do here?
They just have to go for trades. They at least have an Arcane Rune right now in Somnus to use his Exorcism if they want to push, but as soon as Exorcism's used, when it wears off, LFY can look to pick a fight, like you were mentioning in that Roche. There you go. Exorcism's used. They might even just pick a fight into it this time with that blink PKB on the Sven too. They have two different.
Yeah, they can kill her before that Exorcism ups and she gets the heal very easily.
Ways to start the fight, yeah.
And here we go already. So Fisher onto the tusk, does get the snowball off. Somnus has got the BKB and turns towards Inflame, but bam, there's the false promise. Thunder God's Wrath comes through. FY does get in with a very, very strong Ravage, but do they have the damage to follow up? Finally, the Zeus poke, but now Monet turns back in. Arfu with the Echo Slam. That's going to be the Death Prophet down. FY will be chased as well. He is tanky. He is very beefy.
Monet didn't use God Strength in the start of that. There we go. Now he's got it.
I was going to say, I was tickling it.
I was like, why is he hitting so
I was like, how? What has FY got?
What's going on?
Well, there we have it. It's popped. And again, Bloodseeker's not fighting.
So it's like,
but I guess he got. It's hard to. I don't know. I feel like if you're LGD, what do you think is going on in the comms? Is this like, are they like, it's alright, guys, we don't want the Bloodseeker here, or are they going, what the hell do we do?
I'm sure they're starting to get to the point of like, what do we do? Because you know, they see the Zeus porting in the front. They're like, dude, Inflame's porting in the fight, burst this Zeus. But then he just gets false promised, and false promise, look at how long it lasts. It's now 8 seconds. It's gotten buffed recently in the past. 8 seconds where he's just throwing nukes out. He gets a couple lightning bolts out, gets his ulti off, throws some static arc lightnings, static field. It does the damage done needed in the fight, and here we see it. So he gets thrown out.
You see the match. So Bloodseeker, he's in the neighborhood of the fight.
Throws a blood right.
And then I think he quite quickly decides
he throws a rupture onto the Dragon Knight.
This fight's not for him, and just watching him from the sidelines, he's like, what can I do? What can I do?
Yeah, if he walks in, he's just going to get,
and
he's going to eat that Echo Slam,
You guys just got echoed. I'm out of here, boys.
But like, right?
Bye, TP's down to the bottom, top lane.
If he walks in, he would have eaten that Echo
yeah,
and
I mean,
yeah,
that's the thing. He can't do anything.
It's so tough as a Bloodseeker this game without that magic community.
And then I think you just have to kind of look down to the picks at this stage and say, well, what was the plan? Now they do have to blink on FY, and we saw that last fight, FY to get off a very nice Ravage, but still, it really is the damage output that's just lacking, you know, especially when you're against these two very beefy cores. Super DK, Monet Sven.
Yeah, and they picked,
It's a lot of beef.
It was the Death Prophet pick, but yeah, like you're mentioning, DK has built the natural armor from Dragon's Blood, and then throw a Warcry on top versus Death Prophet. Sven was one of the heroes that was picked a long time versus Death Prophet to kind of counteract the ghost damage because of that bonus armor you give your entire team. So
Well,
it's definitely hard.
I think it was clipped out just by the ward. But we'll see how they can.
it may have been.
Yeah, they scan it. They're fully aware of this smoke coming in. Exorcism's available. I mean, LFY will probably just jump them, I think, if they see them. They're not scared to start a fight. It's all LFY.
They don't have Echo,
LFY. There we go. Yeah, look. He just goes straight in, immediately pops the BKB, and the Bloodseeker, he turned up to the fight, but it's not a fumble from backs off. Then we had the false promise drop down onto Monet. Turns with the Blood Bright. Monet holding himself in place. He's actually just going to TP out of this one. This is a fight that LGD can claim, or at least for the most part. I say that Arfu comes in and actually with the cleanup Echo Slam takes down the Death Prophet. So the 1-for-1 at the moment, DDC trying his best to keep Arfu alive and the rest of LGD off him. Ice Shards are popped down, he's still being healed up. Monet finally does return. Now he can turn to try and clean up himself. Gets silenced by the Blood Bright. Look at the speed this Bloodseeker. Oh, the burst damage. Oh, that's the Bloodseeker gone. That's the carry.
When you're blood ridged and you run into a Zeus. Let's see the fight recap. Look at Zeus's damage. Yep, that's Zeus right there.
Yeah, this Inflame Zeus, I gotta say, you're definitely one of the. Has to be the best team in the world with the Zeus at the moment. And that's comparing it to offlane. Sorry, that's comparing it to mid Zeus.
Like
this guy does more on the offlane with it.
Who else picks it, right?
Yeah,
I think.
True that.
Does Fada play it? Has Fada played it at all? I know he's one of the other Zeus players who used to.
I don't think it was secret.
I don't know actually.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
but this guy.
They're very good with it.
I'm surprised that people don't see, like the pros don't see this and try and recreate this with some. I'm sure there must be other offlane players out there that can do what Inflame is doing. But he is, yeah.
This team works so well.
So much for the team with this Zeus pick.
And these guys have such cool careers.
They do, don't they?
Look at this burning.
Fox.
His fox is on fire, flying through the air. Oh man.
That's some fancy stuff.
Creator's Light. Trail of Burning Doom.
What's the name of that thing that Tusk has? What did you say it was called?
It was like Circle of, or Ring of, I don't know.
Ring of, what's it?
Orbital Decay. That's
I need to buy all of those on the Steam market, up the price, and resell them because everyone's going to be after those after this game. Seriously, it looks so good.
So in that last fight, what, they at least got the Dragon Knight, right?
They got the DK, but they lost the Death Prophet, and they lost the
Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
So Bloodseeker runs in and almost dies instantly because the instant disable.
And that was with the BKB up.
Yeah.
But he pots the BKB, but he's still just taking so much physical from the Dragon Knight. And then he comes back in when, of course, the BKB is unavailable, and he goes.
He just dies instantly, yeah. And he's going to go build Blade Mail. He's like, I need to do something. And top lane, they get a pick off, of course, with that Nimbus and Zeus chasing him out with that Blink Dagger.
I'll tell you what, that effect, it does. Don't you think it looks a little similar to Lotus Orb? Like sort of the shape. Do you think you get confused by that in the thick of it? If he had it and you're like, is he used Lotus?
Oh damn, look at that infamous Matthew. Most assists per game. Higher than Afu. Matthew is, dude, that guy was crazy at TI.
That was the guy that you would get for the fantasy points.
Yeah, he was owning.
He would be the great with the fantasy points.
But yeah, I don't know. It looks maybe a little bit like Lotus, but actually, no, it kind of does. You know
what I mean? It's sort of like this pinkish circle, you know?
In a crazy fight, yeah, maybe a little bit. But.
Oh, that's right. I'll make it a Reddit thread. Me, foul, game, but me. Oh yeah. 20-7. LFY, 5k goal lead, and Super Shadow bladed up. As Nimbus running FY. Hey, he's gonna be fine. Gets the turns around, gets the Ravage off. Now they force them back. Somnus moving in with the BKB and Exorcism trying to bring down the Dragon Knight. DDC does have the false promise available, and there we have. Pops it down, looking for the turnaround. Monet trying to go for the Bloodseeker, but the BKB's out. In fact, Monet has to stand his ground. He's been ruptured, he's been brought down. They've lost the Sven, they've lost the Zeus, they've lost the DK. They're losing everybody. Arfu trying to get out. He's not going to get owned. The Yule Scepter's there. They're going to lose a fourth. DDC, can he escape? He can. No further cancel, but that's LFY. Losing 4.
The perfect fight. Wow. FY in the front lines with that.
That Ravage.
Yeah, that catches everybody. Look at the Exorcism damage, though. It was just... They actually got the Rupture off perfectly onto the Sven, so he was unable to do any damage in the fight, and he's already starting to build toward his Link to deal with that.
At all, and There's no buyback. They might be able to get a set of racks there. We'll see.
Here.
I mean, we'll see. FY jumps in. Obviously, he's not too aware that there's the DK around, but he's just so tanky at this stage. And that Ravage into the Blood Bright. Beautiful way to react onto those 2 cores. And as you say, with the Rupture onto the Sven, Monet, very little he can do. And you can see DDC he has to save one of them. He goes for the False Promise on Super. But it's just not enough at the end of the day. Even with Inflame still kicking out huge amounts of magical damage, this was the fight that Somnus needed with his Death Prophet, where he could just clean up with the Siphons and the Exorcism.
They just straight up got melee racks off of that. And they actually might just get range racks too with the Catapult. One more hit.
Yeah!
Yep.
Got it!
They got both racks from that.
All right, scary fight for LFY.
Did I see his right as well? Is that DDC is 7, 0, and 14 and there's 21 kills. He's been part of every single kill on this Oracle.
Oh, that guy's getting a commend. Imagine if LFY lose this game and he ends on like... You're going to feel bad as that Oracle. DDC is going to be fuming.
They need to just watch themselves. Like, you know, jumping the Tidehunter like that.
Yeah.
They don't have the Silver Edge yet or anything to break it.
they can't really blink on him like that, can they?
Once they've got Silver Edge, they can break the Kraken Shell and just disable him and try to burst him down. And it's going to be the next purchase for Super. And they also have the Lincolns now to at least try to block the Rupture. There are a good amount of targeted spells though coming out from LGD.
Let's see what's next for LGD. Smoking up. Ult's available once again. They've got the Exorcism. Ravage is back up. Yeah. This is the perfect time to jump.
Blink on Bloodseeker to get in the position for the fights.
Oh, there we have it.
He blinks right in, gets stunned up. He's going to get bursted instantly.
Oh, he is. That's going to be the Bloodseeker gone. 70 seconds in that. In fact, oh, Monet on the backlines cuts down the other 2. That's 3 out. Make that 4. LFY back to the form that we've been seeing in the previous fights. They had that one slip-up fight, but just like that. Woo.
He just blinked into the high ground. That was loco.
Ay, ay, ay. Look at the damage from Monet there, of course, as well. And that's Roshan. That's a free Rosh.
It's like if the Tidehunter blinked, he blinked in with Blood Rage on too.
Oh, hang on. There's it. And then he's like, oh, okay, should probably get out of here. And Super's like, no, boy, you stay right here next to me. And that Fissure as well from Arfu. That's what it was. Right across the fight. Again, on the tip, getting both the Tusk and the Death Prophet, making sure there's no response.
I mean, that guy always plays so well, Alfu. As soon as LFY picked him up, that's when they started getting all their success. Or started, like...
It really was, yeah. The Arfu and Inflame was back at what, Epicenter, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, where LFY, this lineup just kicked it off.
We were like...
That's when we first started seeing the Zeus offlane as well, wasn't it? Because at the time, it was when, Terrorblade was really strong. We're like, how do you beat this Terrorblade? And then LFY were like, Zeus, Zeus, Zeus.
They were like, Zeus, Elder Titan. And they dual laned him, and No-Tail was a very sad man.
And No-Tail's never recovered since that day.
No,
it's still... They broke him. Yeah, 25 to 11. Yeah, this Bloodseeker, he's got to be careful how he jumps in like that.
Especially if he has Blood Rage on.
Yes.
But yeah, they have so many different ways of instantly disabling, be it the Dragon Knight or the Earthshaker to get those fissures. And even Sven, if you're able to like blink really close and get the stun off, it's a bit hard for the Bloodseeker. So yeah, any disable, pretty much anybody on the side of LGD will die if they get stunned, except for Tidehunter. That being said, they do have the Silver Edge on Super, so now it could be an option where they can...
They can.
Maybe.
Try and... I mean, it's still, yeah, it's still like, do you really want to go on him? But there's definitely potential. Oh, just look at this with that. That was with a Greaves heal as well, so he's still down to less than half health with the burst of Inflame. What do they do?
I think Bloodseeker's starting to realize that the right-clicking is not realistic for him. Takes the Rupture damage as the talent. Because he's not getting into the fights to hit anybody. If he does, he just dies.
And although LFY are down that one set of racks, although that matters too much, they have very good wave clip.
Yeah.
They can easily deal with the slightly stronger creeps.
Super has an Invis-Rune, also a gem in the inventory as well. Can look for a pick-off. Do they have level 20 yet on Zeus? Now they have level 20 on Zeus. So they've got the extra stun on the Lightning Bolt.
No, especially as these BKBs start to get lower and lower.
Yep.
Maybe back at that point where this Zeus can just run away with these team fights. LGD as well. Knowing that they have to find these prime fights. They had such a brilliant one.
Oh, they might find FY here. He looks like he knows something's up. Let's get the hell out of there. And now they know there's a ward there. They get rid of that one.
The Shiver's Guard picked up for the Death Prophet will certainly help against the Sven.
Yeah, LGD's just trying to avoid fights till, especially, trying to avoid fights in general for the most part, but until that Aegis wears off in the next 2 minutes. It's very hard for LGD to take fights. Just they know where Super is, though, it seems. They're pinging him out. Looks like they saw him with their ward sentry on that high ground initially. They're waiting. They're hoping that they walk up into the trap.
Yeah, we saw. I mean, this was the area where the good fight was for LGD earlier. To try for a repeat of that situation.
They see the Death Prophet show. And they see Bloodseeker top. This is go time. LFY wants to pick this fight mid.
They're closing in. Super leading the way.
Oh, he kills the sentry.
Okay, so gives up his position.
Oh, he's giving the bottle to Zeus. Zeus has an arcane rune in the bottle.
That's pretty nasty.
The best rune for Zeus by far.
This is such a scary fight for LGD to take. Super leading the front way. He's got the silver edge hit straight away. And FY does get forced back. Blood Ryan Rupture thrown straight down onto Super. Now LGD, they're splitting LFY apart beautifully. They take down the Oracle. They're closing on Arfu. That's going to be both of the backlines down. And now they can turn to Super. Super pops the cheese, trying to finish off FY. But look at this. With the Exorcism and the Siphon, it's just too much for Super to deal with. Triple kill for Somnus.
That positioning there from Somnus. Did you see the silence? We're going to probably see it in the replay, but he gets a perfect silence on both Afu and In Flames, so Zeus isn't unable to throw the burst damage onto the Tidehunter there to bring him down during that fight. So here we'll see it again. Watch this positioning by the Death Prophet. It's absolutely perfect silence, though. Right here, it's going to happen.
Waiting in the trees.
Bam, gets all three of them.
And then no hesitation with a Shiver's Guard and the Ghost.
Dragon Knight's completely isolated by the Rupture, and Sven is nowhere near the fight just yet. He was still pushing up bottom. And now Monet getting grabbed up in a fight here.
Go for it here.
He's turning onto Victoria.
And he's going to get
3 versus 1. He's turning onto Somnus and onto FY. He's trying to cleave him down.
He really is. He's going to be ravaged, though. The Siphon continues to bring him down low, but there's the backup he needs. False Promise comes out. We'll heal him up. Can he actually still continue to do this? He's going to be taking quite a bit of damage, and in fact, it's too much. That's going to be Monet popping. He's gone for 80 seconds. Now with this jump forward, LGD could just try and chase for more. They're looking towards the Zeus. Arfu tried to throw out a Fisher to help him out, but this Zeus, in flame, he's dead as well. 70 seconds down on both the Sven and the Zeus. LGD.
Oh my god, this game. Like, it just got completely turned around. Look at how poor this Dragon Knight is now in comparison to this Tide, Bloodseeker, and Death Prophet.
Behind. LGD having some fantastic...
What looked like amazing situations for LFY, just one 3-man silence by a Death Prophet, and everything gets turned around. And they already got that Rax lead, as we mentioned earlier. Oh boy. Exorcism up in 20. Afu blocking them out for the time being with that fissure. Trying to buy time for the Zeus and the Sven to respawn. But they're committing in.
There we have it. Straight in. On that tier 3 tower. Beating it down. Daedalus is on the Sven, but he's dead still for 10 seconds. Can they get away with it?
Oh, he's trying to creep.
With that BKB as well. Making sure that nothing can stop this Bloodseeker pummel into the barracks on this top lane, and with the Ghost out as well, this is very hard, but Afu's going to try and commit with the Echo Slam, bringing Somnus down, but the BKB and Shiva's Guard's out. Somnus is fine. Monet will chop down the AA, turns his attention towards FY, Super comes back in with the stun, gets the hold, the snowball saves attempted, but it's not enough. Death Prophet loses his life, Tusk is down as well, and they'll get even more. Afu with the cutoff, slaps down the Bloodseeker. They do lose half of the racks on the top lane. But LFY make LGD pay for it. That is 70 seconds now for LGD, where they do not have a Death Prophet or a Bloodseeker. And LFY, their lineup can certainly push without the reliance on these big ults like the Exorcism. Sure, a little bit of the pushing is lost with the Elder Dragon form going down. Having the Sven.
And back the other way. Here we go, Owen.
Up and down between these two sides.
I mean, look at the graph. It tells the story of this game. It's just up and down and up and down. Experience, same thing, up and down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And the LFY, see how much they can actually get with this time. There's a few off the map for LGD. How are they going to respond? They do have Ravage. They do have Ice Blast. And that's the fortification. LFY, surely they're going to want to stand their ground. They realize that there's no buyback on these cores. They're not coming back into the game. In fact, Arfu already heads up top. He's ready to start on a second set. Monet with the God Strength. No messing around, just going, trying to get these objectives. Blink dodges the Ice Blast. They'll just settle for one melee racks at the moment. With the two cores coming back in, they don't want to mess around. There is now a refresher on FY's Tidehunter.
Trying to see if he has the mana for it all.
Should be fine with the one charges and the Greaves.
As long, yeah, with the one charges. Yep, it's going to be just enough. Math's pretty hard right now in my head. It's not working.
I mean, it's what, 375 refreshers. So it's
700
plus
325. Yeah,
so
he has enough.
1025. Yeah, one Greaves, it'll be okay. See if we can find it. FY has been certainly finding some good ravages so far this game. It's been very strong Tide. He had a bit of a rough game on the Faceless Void, but a much smoother performance here in game 2 on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, coming in clutch when his team needs him to.
Yeah. Always holding that Ravage for that prime moment. Well, we've got pings on Roche. How are we seeing on the Roche timer? Is that?
It's another 15, 20 seconds
Very
or so.
close, yeah. That's almost certainly what LGD are going to look for before they go for the push. Still, though, it's going to be that same issue. They can't really take it too quickly unless they commit the Exorcism.
They're smoke, or the Silver Edged up on the Dragon Knight. They're looking to try to take the fight
FY's
here.
on the high ground.
Oh, he might be able to get a good jump here.
Could. Doesn't quite see super. Now he will. He knows they're around. Sentry's down, making sure that LGD themselves aren't being spotted out. They're very crude, they are going to smoke. Oh, they're so bunched together, but he's not quite aware. It's the night time.
I think that was just out of range.
I think it was, yeah, with the night.
I turned it to their vision for LGD, and I don't think they saw that smoke.
Oh, man. This is so spooky here. Zeus coming up. FY will dispel the smoke. There's FY with the first jump in. Gets the Ravage, but it's only onto the Sven. That's pretty much good enough, though, if they have enough damage. But still, DDC gets the chance to get the false promise out. Monet turns towards the Death Prophet. Death Prophet found the Exorcism of Yules up as well, keeping himself alive, dodging the Thunder God's Wrath. Finally gets charged down. Monet finishes off the Death Prophet. That's going to be Somnus down for a full 90 seconds plus. Can't get anything more out of this one, Monet. Healed up by DDC. Super. Does he want to jump forward for more? Mono certainly does. They're trying to close down onto FY. Fisher there to set up. Arfu gets in range.
Oh, he's dead.
And he is gone. So they trap him underneath the Thunderbolts. And that's actually going to be the gem hitting the decks as well.
No Death Prophet for 80, but they need to deal with their lanes right now for LFY.
And was that so? Did FY pop the refresher in that fight?
Yes,
he did, but he did. And it was not quite enough. Again, just pretty much what DDC just being in the right position so we could still get the false promise out.
Yeah.
And just focusing that Death Prophet, getting her out of the team fight before the Exorcism does too much, and then it really just is a damage output issue for LGD.
Yeah. It was a really good play there by the Bloodseeker, though. Literally just beelined it toward the Zeus that entire fight. So he ruptured Zeus, ran around, chased him down. Zeus actually couldn't get into the fight to do any of the damage. That was all everybody else doing the damage there. And he had to buy back as well. So Inflame did have to use that there. And now he looks like he might be able to pick up a kill here on Yao. Yao forcing himself away.
There we go.
And yeah, he's dead.
Goodbye.
Oh,
DDC!
Nice.
Oh. That's mine, he says. How's DDC's KDA looking?
So he's 10-1 and 18.
10-1 and 18. Ooh. And that's the Roche. Aegis. And cheese.
Yeah. And this time it's now Zeus with the Aegis, of course, because Zeus used buyback in the last fight. And now DK with a full Orchid at the base, as well as the cheese in his inventory. This game is very back and forth, though. Like, what's the saying? 322-644-966, and then it gets the numbers that people.
Oh, you are the one with the maths expert yesterday.
Yeah, I can't do whatever. But the people like to say that one, but this is. 966.
I'm just letting you
And
know.
then the next one is a harder one. It's like
1288.
1288, and then it gets to the weird numbers.
1610.
But realistic, that's the way this game. It's not that it throws; it's just all over the place.
2260. No, 2254. 2254. Yeah, that's some.
No, it's a very hectic one, to say the least. AC.
How close are we to the AC?
He has it if he wants to. I think.
What about the Bloodseeker's building as well? Isn't he?
Was it? Yeah. Almost done on the Bloodseeker too. How's our levels looking? We've got 25 on 3. Bloodseeker's about to hit 25 too.
Now, I mean, I assume he must take the Blood Right cooldown. We have seen some take the life still recently.
It's too good. The Blood
Yeah,
Right.
you just have to take the Blood Right. I mean, especially because they have like these, having double Ravage. You're gonna get the chance to get 2 Blood Rights out easily in a fight, and for the defense.
It's not like Zeus has a BKB or anything either. If you get like back-to-back Blood Rights on him, you can have him perma-silence the majority of the fight. There's a DD rune bottom if they do scout that one out. Could be quite nice. Ravage is up, Refresher is up. They're looking to go.
This could get crazy. They'll see the DD, yeah. Get that in the hands of that man.
Double damage for me.
Time to fight Force as well on FY.
How's the buyback status for the Dire?
Ooh, and that's pretty big as well. They've got the full Octarine on the Death Prophet, so these fights can come more frequent with this exorcism.
And he hit level 25, right? Which one did he take?
Extra
He actually took
spirits?
the spirits. Okay, I've seen a lot of people. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen people grab the health so you don't get as bursted as quickly. But I guess maybe he's like, the more health I have, the more I get bursted by the Zeus, and he wants to be able to. He's the damage in the fights, right?
Yeah, I guess, and also it's like if he gets knocked down, he's getting hit by the Sven, and so he's gonna die. I don't know if 600 health really makes that much of a difference when the Sven's critting for like more than double than that. If he's getting hit, he's gonna be out of it. But yeah, the exorcism spirits are.
He needs that damage.
Gonna be pretty damn good. How desperately do they want to fight? I mean, do you feel anyone's too really pressured to fight here? I mean, surely LGD's lineup is the one that's going to fall off a little bit more.
They don't want to fight into Aegis and Cheese, though.
That's true. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Waiting for that.
Yeah, it's going to be gone in a minute and 30 seconds about now. Yep. Yeah, they start to fall a little bit. Like, they start to get a little bit weaker. Well, Zeus just gets, progressively stronger as the game goes on because everyone gets stronger, so he gets stronger. And the level 25 talent is quite nice on Zeus.
Oh, super. He's going to try for the pick-off here.
They're able to get it, too.
They will indeed, take him out.
And Rupture was expended, too. So they've got 60 seconds if they want to really force it, and they use DK ult. So here we go. LFY.
Double Ravage and Exorcism is there. It needs to be perfect to stop this. The siege from LFY, they'll allow them to get the range racks. So if the LFY can get away with going for more, moving to the side lane, they'll certainly go for it. How do LGD stop this, or do they just feel maybe they're just not confident to fight without the full 5-man?
I think they need all 5 too. Since Aegis Cheese and the Zeus is super massive. They get the jump on the A right away.
Oh, he's gone. And no buyback either on him. Somnus knows he has to fight. FY comes in with the Ravage, but already the BKB's out on Super. Refreshes, tries to go for the second, but still with the BKB's out. Very little that FY can do here. Monet healed up by the false promise. Super's getting brought down low. They've got the Echo trying to control this Death Prophet. Can they finish him off? They will. They'll pop him, bring down Somnus. He's out for 100. They jump up to the high ground. There'll be a buyback from the Bloodseeker, but LFY moving in, taking them down one by one. Getting the racks. They do lose Monet, but LGD have lost the majority here. Monet will buy back, knows that this is the chance to clean up the game, get that 2-0.
They need to go for the throne, though. They're still tier 2 bottom. A little bit awkward, can't get the megas. They're just going to hit some effigies. Yeah, they're hitting tier 4s now.
Bloodthorn also out for Super, just in case he needs it. I mean, Can LGD do anything with these 2 heroes alive? I mean, they're trying with the Blood Bright spam. And the tier 4s are falling. LFY should have finally done it here. 30, 40 seconds for the rest of them up.
Yeah, this is
LFY, yeah, coming in with the creep wave.
They're really trying to stall, but 30 seconds is a very long time. Throne exposed, God Strength on. Yeah, that is a dead. That's GG.
There we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2. Going the way of LFY.
I'm waiting to see the damage. I'm just waiting to
Oh, what, from in play?
Yeah, to see at the end of the game.
What's your prediction? Go on, give me a number.
50, no, 60, 68.
I'm going to go 64.
Yeah, 64?
64,
let's
okay.
let's take a look. 60.
60. I was close. We were both close. We were both in the 60. So yeah, 60k damage from the Zeus. I mean, to give you an image, what the second highest damage output on the team, Monet, the Sven, 24k.
Yeah, that's
so that's and he was chunking. You know, he was hitting them.
Even the Death Prophet too. Death Prophet 32. You saw how much Somnus was doing in the fights, but
this Zeus, off-lane Zeus,
he went crazy.
So
but I mean, DDC's. DDC is standout. He got like every single team fight. He was getting perfect Fate's Edict, perfect False Promises. He never seemed to get gone on in the fights. Perfect positioning coming out from him.
Absolutely. Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. LFY get the 2-0, but we'll be able to bring the panel back in. And I think, well, Blitz was there before, weren't you? You knew that DDC was quite the man on the position 5 in this game. I mean, an incredible Oracle performance from him.
These position 5s by him is just like the saves. Whenever he has to play like the save heroes, like Dazzle or Oracle, always going to be perfect.
Positioning perfect, execution perfect.
Zeus was perfect. Y'all laughed at me when I was talking about that Nimby Zeus, okay? So good.
We actually didn't.
We never laughed at you.
Y'all
laughing.
Y'all said Slack, you real dummy. No. Nimby Zeus is the jam, especially, weirdly enough, against Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker ults you, and then you put the Nimbus down on top of whoever got ulted, and then you want people to try to fight under Nimbus. It's incredible. Just stun the entire team. So, strange interaction, but one that I have known about for some time as your top analyst over here.
Okay. I loved that game, by the way. I was a little bit worried at the start, thinking that perhaps it's going to be another quick one, even though LGD did really good in the lanes, but at some point LFY just started getting ahead, and I'm like, okay, you know, they did it again. But that was a very close match towards the end there. It took a while for LGD to actually get to that point where they were able to contest LFY, but it was a treat.
It was a close match the entire time. What were they, less than 1K net worth away from each other?
Well, not the entire
like 45 minutes or something?
No, for a while, LFY were winning by a lot.
Yeah.
Then it was like, okay, this is exactly how we saw it. We're all geniuses on the panel. Then LGD made this huge comeback where Death Prophet became this absolute monster. And the big thing is that both teams had such big teamfight ultis that it only took 1 or 2 moments for the swing to go the other way. It was like, oh, you hit a Tide Ravage with a big DP ult? Well, I guess we're back in the lead. And then we all get Echo Slammed with Nimbus Cloud. I guess we're losing again. And eventually, it just like ping-ponged back and forth, but Zeus, in a way, is like the infinite scaling hero, right? The stronger you get, the stronger he's going to get. It puts people in an awkward position. For example, Yonis is right about the DP not being able to pick up the health as a result because it's just a larger percentage of damage that he's going to take. And it just came to a point where it was really awkward because they were so strong, LGD, and I was like, oh man, they're going to win. And then it seemed like they just fell off a cliff. And the Zeus became invincible,
Yeah. One of those ping pong moments, by the way, we have a clip of on the drawing board. Let's take a look. Talk us through it, Jake.
Me? Okay, sure thing. Here we go. Hello, this is the Dota 2 map. You can see they got some trees here. This guy he sees a guy. He's like, I'm a dragon. Here I go. And this dude coming in, look at that positioning, perfectly out of the way from everybody. Dragon looking mad. He's looking like he's gonna throw some fire.
Position. Yeah, sure, that's a dragon. Okay, well, that's Bloodseeker out of the fight before the rest of the team is even here. There's people just blowing up left, right, and center. This was, by the way, right after, I believe right after the racks were taken middle by LGD. So this was around the time where their comeback
nice
was at.
Step there. There you go. There's that dragon fire I was talking about. Right there.
Everything you talked about came to fruition.
It really did. I will say, rough game for an AA. They just didn't care. They were just piercing that back. They were just chasing that poor little ice cream man. He had nowhere to go.
That's why did it take so long for that Bloodseeker to actually join fights? Because for the first, like this was the second fight he was in. For the first 30 minutes, he was just farming.
I mean, I think he felt pretty comfortable with pace of game.
Okay.
And because these kinds of heroes, like, their catch is okay, but for the most part, they're just going to farm and group up. So he felt like, I'm going to get ahead on the other side of the map. I'm going to split the map, get things like this Radiance, this Manta style, and then eventually it'll get to a point where the Bloodseeker is hopefully strong enough. But what he doesn't realize, or what he failed to realize in this game, is I think he just had to keep fighting with his team nonstop and pushing the pace. There's a point where, like, you grab the Radiance and then you just want to go. But I felt like he took things a little bit too far the other way. Because, like, by not participating in fights, yes, you do get ahead, especially even more so if your team is winning the fights.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to recognize that the gears have switched and you have to kind of adjust your gameplay as a result.
You need to be there for your team. We have a bracket for you guys. Because this was the second best of 3 of the day. Meaning that we now know who is in the Winners Bracket Finals, which is going to be played tomorrow.
Whoa!
Newbie and LFY. We have one more series ahead of us, though, and it will be the lower bracket round 1 match. One of these two teams will be eliminated and will not be able to make it to the major. And this is basically, let's see, a redo of the the finals of the qualifiers for Dota Pit. It was also VG Gaming versus LGD. It was a best of 5. And why are you so happy about that?
You're hyping me up.
Well, it's not very happy or deal for LGD because they lost 3-0, 0-3 rather. They didn't get a single win in. Happy times apparently for Jake here.
They gotta work on it.
Yeah, because LGD the only tournament that they are going to so far is the Bucharest Minor, and that's because they were invited, not because they qualified. So they need to step it up to still have a chance to qualify here. So one team's gonna get eliminated.
Well said.
Well said. All right. So before that last series is, never mind.